Good morning. This is Munira from Chicagoland. I am calling. My company is Kismet Ventures Inc., and we are instilling values in people who are instilling values in other people. So I've noticed that there's a lot of people out there who do what they do, but they don't take credit for what they do. So
Mhm.
I'm on a mission to expose them and promote them and help them find the value or see the value that they are promoting to other people. Today's
Mhm.
guest is Bisi MacGregor. She is from New Jersey. Hi, Bisi.
Hi, Munira.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Um, I start off with the same question. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm quite excited to be here. First off, congratulations and thank you for doing this because the type of people that you interview, the folks that instill values in others, it's a job that folks just do it without thinking of exposing what it is they do or promoting what it is they do. So I think it's fantastic and important that you're doing what you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I noticed that when I ask people what is it that they do, they just tell me they rattle off what they do, but they don't understand the value that they're
Yes.
instilling. So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
this
Definitely.
became my mission a few weeks ago.
Yeah, awesome, cool. Well, so I am from New Jersey, born here, kind of went to school here and everything. However, born of immigrant parents from Nigeria. So part of my life was in Nigeria, and after high school, I came back here. What I do is I work with professional women to help them break the molds in their lives so that they can step into the leading woman they were born to be. And what does that mean? I believe everyone has something, this thing that a lot of people, especially women, are looking for. A lot of the clients I talk to seem like they've gotten to a point where they know there's more. They've kind of checked the box. If they've gone to school, they had a degree, they've had a master's, they've got married, some people not married, have kids. But now they know there's something else. Their soul is yearning for something else, but they don't know how to step into that space. And that's what I help them do. I help them break that mold so they can. Because what I've seen is that a lot of they are constrained in this mold because of things that have been passed on to them, either by culture, tradition, their families, society, themselves, by their life experiences. And it just kind of keeps them contracted until they're so small in this space and feeling so uncomfortable. So again, so that's what I help them do, break out of this thing so that they can create a mold that fits them or exist without a mold and do the impossible, you know? So it's trying to work with them to stop having a circle fit into a triangle or a triangle fit into a little oblong shape, which is what a lot of women are trying to do, and they find themselves overwhelmed, helpless, angry, resentful. So in a nutshell, that's what I do today.
So what got you started?
Oh gosh, what got me started? Clearly, I was in a mold of my own. So, born in the United States, raised in Nigeria, I kind of have the best of both worlds, both traditions, both cultures, which don't usually mesh together at all. You know, my Nigerian background is it's very dictative, it's very authoritative, it's very, this is what you're going to do, this is how it's done, this is what you do. And for as long as I've known, I've never fit into a mold. Ever since I was a child, I've never fit into a mold. And trying to exist in such a society it's hard. It's difficult. So, long story short, once I came back here, I checked the boxes as well, you know, trying to fit into the mold. Went to school undergrad, did my MBA as well, which was part of checking the mold, checking the boxes. And then I got married. And in my marriage, I got lost, completely lost because I inherently was checking the box as well. I'm at X age, I need to get married. You know, so I checked the boxes, and I lost myself. I mean, there were times I looked in the mirror and I did not recognize who I was looking at. My passion seemed like it was getting buried deeper and deeper and deeper. And as that was going on in my personal life, my professional life was happening too, because my soul is now yearning for there's something else, there's something else. But here I am in corporate America, in a box, in a space that no longer fulfills me. I was in finance. It no longer fulfills me. And I said, I want to move out. I want to move out. But I was so afraid to take that step out. Oh, I'm not good enough. I can't do anything else. This is all I've done for the past 2 decades. This is all you've done. How are you going to step out of it? You can't. Just stay here and make it work. The same way you're telling yourself, stay in this marriage and make it work. Who are you going to tell, especially with a Nigeria background, that, oh, at 37, you want to get a divorce? How is that going to happen? You know, that's no. How are you going to begin a new career? So what I did was I went on a soul journey, basically. And I went within and tapped into the power that I know that I've always had, that was within. However, it's just gaining access to it. And once I was able to gain access to it, I went through a painful divorce, which was part of the process, and healing through that. And up until 3 weeks ago, I was a corporate employee, and no longer anymore. So, but for all intents and purposes, though, I have been looking for. I know working with women, talking to women, seeing people that I've managed in corporate develop, seeing them blossom, nurturing them, has always been a great love for me. That's always been the part of my job that I loved the most when I was in corporate. But I couldn't put a finger on it. Like, what is it? I just thought it was part of being a manager until I did the soul searching, and I figured, this is it. This is it. I just want to help people unveil their potential, cultivate it, and start harvesting possibilities in their lives, and women especially. So that's a roundabout way how I got into this space of life coaching.
Well, that's awesome because you said a few things that really correlate with my life as well. Because I grew up in Africa as well as
Yeah.
well, and then I had to come here, and then I went for divorce and single parent, and had all my kids go through school, and there's always that yearning, right? And
Yes.
I understand completely because I feel, people always told me think outside the box,
Hmm.
but my company's logo is, outside the box is redundant. Let me pull you out,
Hmm.
because I feel like people, like you talk about the molds, we become complacent and we have these little boxes that we make ourselves comfortable in, that we
Yes.
don't want to now venture out. So
Hmm.
my tagline is venture out, just take that next step, even though it's hard.
Yes.
We don't know what the unknown is, and I think that's what scares people.
Yes. Yes.
And so, we have a good kind of like our lives are kind of parallel.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in
For
corporate
sure.
America.
Yeah.
So my question then is so when you tell people out there, when you find, how do you find your clients, and what do you want to tell other people who are trying to do this, and forget the J or B situation. I mean, not everybody is in corporate. Somebody has, a job, but they're good at building people and um, growing people. So what do you tell them?
So, first off, what do I tell the people that want to embark on a life coaching journey? Is that what you mean?
No, I mean,
That
if
want to break out
somebody
of the mold.
wants to, if they want to become a coach,
Got
if
it.
they want to take the next step. I mean, you said you were a corporate employee for 3 months,
Hmm.
three and up to three
Up to.
months ago. So why did you take that step? How did you take that step? And what would you tell other people if they wanted to take that step? And
Got it. So I'll tell you a story. Something that happened to me October last year while I was at work, and it was one of those that period where things, it was so busy. We're there long hours, long repeated hard hours. So it's not as though you're taking a break to go get a coffee or something. It's just continuous. And it happens like this, all the time, back to back to back. And this particular day, we were all in the office. It was about 9 of us. And I sat in there, and it was almost 9 p.m. And we'd all been at work since about 8:30 a.m. And you could tell, you could feel the tension in the air. People, at this point, everybody is, you're done. You're done. It's like a Wednesday or a Thursday, so you're spent. Anyways, and I noticed, it seemed like I was having a conversation with myself. I kind of looked to the side and I said, I don't understand what's going on. I couldn't recognize the feelings that were out in the air. And I mean that by my feelings. I couldn't see. I said, I'm not angry. I'm not frustrated, because usually I would be angry, frustrated, and oh my God, I got to get out. Oh my God, I got to get out. And I wasn't. I said, that's odd. But I looked at everyone else and I could see that feeling. People are becoming impatient, angry, they're ready to leave. And I looked again and I just said, okay, whatever. And within that same minute, all of a sudden, I noticed a feeling, and it was hurt and pain. I said, what's going on? I don't recognize this hurt and pain in the midst of this whole thing. What is this? And it was almost as though I was out of my body looking at my heart, which was like a representation of like a little girl of me. And she was essentially saying to me, looked up to me and said, why are you putting us through this? Like, this is hurtful. This is painful for us. Why are you putting us through this? And for the first time, I looked at this little girl like I would any, like my niece or my nephew, and say, oh my God, I want to make things better for you, And I said to myself that moment, oh my God, I feel the pain. I will get us out of here. I will get us out of here. Because I've felt it before, but I think for years I've kind of been numb to it, or lied to myself that I couldn't do it. So that was one of the catalyst that kind of turned on the ignition of the willingness to actually take that step. I saw the pain. I had compassion on myself. I said, you're going to have to do this. If you want to step into what your soul calls for, you're going to have to let go of this in order to step into something new. So that was one big aha for me. And how was I able to do it? It's really just knowing my purpose, and knowing that I'm called to do this, because I know without a doubt I am called to do this. I know for sure now this is where I'm supposed to live. And the sooner I get about doing it, the better for me. And I mean, since 3 weeks ago, I haven't felt lighter at all. Haven't.
You mean you feel lighter now?
Yes, I feel lighter now.
The burden, you just shed the burden.
Yes, big time.
So
yes.
You had this epiphany, out of body experience, even though it wasn't really out of body, but you had this epiphany and you realized that you had to stop what you're doing because of the tension and everything. And corporate jobs are like that, right? Most people are just succumbed to the pressure that comes from above. I understand all that. But let me ask you this. So if there are people who feel that their calling, they've understood their calling, and they haven't had this epiphany, what would you tell the women out there who are trying to
break out? Yeah, to break out. I say in Fearless Living Institute, we say no one can be fearless alone. And that's a quote by Rhonda Britton. And I believe that wholeheartedly. A lot of times I think we try to walk this walk solo. And though it's important, sometimes you need someone. You need support. So you can't do this alone sometimes. A lot of times I would actually say. So reach out for support. Reach out for support. Whether it's a mentor, someone who's done it before, a voice of experience, a coach, someone to ask you the questions that you're not asking yourself, someone to kind of hold you accountable, someone to kind of nudge you and challenge you. So I think that's really, really huge. I had a couple of coaches and a couple of mentors with me along the journey, and I still do. So if you want to get to where your soul is calling you faster, you definitely want support along the way. You want support along the way. The second thing is, and it's in no particular order, is trust, self-trust. I think a lot of times one of the reasons why we don't venture out Yes, it's fear, but I think it's also orchestrated around this. We've lost trust in ourselves. We've lost trust in what we're capable of doing. I say the power that we are always in the presence of our potential and power, but because it's been buried by so much, we don't even know it's there. So it's reconnecting with that self-trust that would give us the courage to kind of to step out. Um, and how do you reconnect with that self-trust? It's going within, doing that soul searching journey. Again, sometimes you want to ask for support in doing that as well, because you may not know how to do it. Immerse yourself in books, videos, podcasts. There's a lot of information and help out there that you can get value from.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Um, Most people find coaching, they look at a coach and they say, a coach is usually affiliated with sports, right? So, when you look at a coach, it's like somebody who is like a referee or somebody who is training them in a sports arena.
Uh-huh.
And then there are some people who don't realize that they need a coach because they think that I know it all.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it very well, because you say, somebody, they need to find that help to help them pull out and get them to venture out.
Mm-hmm.
That's an awesome piece of advice.
Mm-hmm.
And then how do you find a coach that is perfect for you?
So, oh gosh, there are lots and lots of coaches out there. Um, how do you find a coach? I know if you go online and just say coaches near me or life coach near me, for sure you have tons of results. However, I would say ask for referrals. You want someone who has done it before and gotten results. For me, like I got certified under Fearless Living Institute. We have fantastic coaches from there. So they're fearless living coaches, and basically we use fear. We help you master fear and process it differently so you can move forward in your life, because everything that holds you back is all under fear. Period. So you can look under that certified fearless living coaches. You can look on Facebook for life coaches, LinkedIn. So you could do a general search on coaches, but I would reach out to people that have been coached before. Hey, was this coach good? Is there somebody you can refer me to? Something like that. And interview the coach. Have a session, have maybe a practice session, or just a little introductory session with the coach that you want to work. See if you're a good fit for one another. I do that with my potential clients. I either do a strategy session with them or a breakthrough session with them. Let's have a 20-minute. Let's see if we work well together. Let's see what you need, what you want, if I can provide that for you, because there's that piece as well.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any last words?
You got it. Whatever it is you're looking for today, you have it already. It is within you. You are more powerful than you know. You're more stronger than you know. You already have it. And we form this habit of walking out the door, looking in search for our potential and power. But it dwells here. It's right here. We just need to suss it out. And you got it. You can do it.
Thank you so much for that message. It's awesome. I wanted to thank you for taking the time to get on my interview. I really appreciate it. You are
You're
an
welcome.
incredible woman to have gone through what you've gone through and be here today. I appreciate you. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to, I have her information. So if you want to add, connect with BC, that's fine. But then I'll also post this on YouTube. And then I'm promoting you, so you can do whatever with this video. And thank you again.
Thank you, Munira. Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.